วัสดีค่ะสวัสดีผู้เข้าร่วมสัมมนาอบรมของเราทุกท่านนะคะกลับมาพบกันค่ะสำหรับช่วงที่2นั่นเองนะคะซึ่งช่วงนี้เราจะมาดูกันที่หัวข้อเกี่ยวกับกฎหมายค่ะที่เราควรจะรู้ในการดำเนินธุรกิจตลอดจนสิ่งที่ควรทำหลังจากที่เราลงทุนนั่นเองค่ะเดี๋ยวขออนุญาตแจ้งกำหนดการนะคะซึ่งหลังจากที่จบเซสชั่นที่2แล้วค่ะช่วงเวลาบ่าย3โมงตรงถึงบ่าย4โมงนะคะเราจะร่วมกิจกรรมพิชชิ่งกันที่เวทีกลางโซน A ด้านหน้าห้องบอลลูมค่ะและช่วงสุดท้าย4โมงตรงหลังจากที่พิชชิ่งเรียบร้อยแล้วเราจะกลับมาเจอกันที่ห้องแห่งนี้นะคะมาร่วมสรุปจากการเข้าร่วมพิชชิ่งได้อะไรกันไปบ้างแล้วก็กลับมาเข้าสู่การถามตอบร่วมกันค่ะในช่วงท้ายกิจกรรมวันนี้จะสิ้นสุดเวลาประมาณ4โมงครึ่งหรือว่า 16:30 นาทีค่ะ Well let's go to the next session May I invite Mr. Bill to come to the stage once again ขอเสียงปรบมือให้กับ Mr. Bill ด้วยค่ะ
Hi guys. You have no idea how much of a favour we did you in doing the legals before lunch. Yeah, get that out of the way. This is the kind of the I want to make this sort of a summary of what we went through this morning, but also sort of just the learning from angels from across the world that we're dealing with, who themselves have reviewed a lot of pitches, and what it is that they're looking for. And once again, it's who am I to tell you what to look for in a pitch? It's not my business. It's your money. It's whatever it is that actually appeals to you guys that is going to be the most important part of it. I think in terms of when we're looking to review business plans or when you've actually invested into deals, here are some tips from the angels. And I've obviously condensed them down because I think if there's 100 angels, then there's 100 lessons and 100 painful lessons that they themselves have lost money on or not made as much money as they possibly could. The essence, the point about driving to a valuation and winning is a difficult one to get across if you haven't been an angel before. So often people will feel that they've got a very good deal, but they've upset the entrepreneur. The business grower then doesn't feel that he's got a relationship with you. He doesn't feel comfortable with you. He doesn't feel like he can actually talk to you about things. And should that happen, it's going to make it very difficult for you to grow the business together because just the summary of where we're coming from, it's not about your money. It is about the relationship that you form with the business, and it is about the mentoring and the experience and the contacts that you can give them, and then the money. And I think if you still don't understand that, then come and talk to me after, because that is the essence of what we do. It's not about your money. There is more money out there than we're doing. I was just talking to government. I was talking to SEC. No, I wasn't. I was talking to SET. Are they here? Yeah. And really looking at injecting liquidity into the marketplace. And they were asking our advice, and we've got a lot of advice in terms of bringing liquidity in, because often the challenge that each of the business plans that we see every day and each one of the entrepreneurs that we see, the thing that they ask us for is money. The guys out there that are pitching, they think that all their dreams will come true when they get money. They believe that that is success. The successful entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs who truly understand what the process is, should maybe allow themselves 2-3 seconds of joy when they get the money. Real entrepreneurs who understand the problem is that now you've got the money, you have to make the business plan that you've sold it on come true. Dude, your work starts now. So much like we never trust anyone who cannot write their own business plan because they probably won't be able to exist in a business world, we also do not, we're not in the marketplace of just doling money out to people. The act of actually getting the money, which is kind of what you'd expect me to say running Europe and Asia's largest angel network, is not the difficult thing. Setting up a business is really easy. Finding funding for your business really is not difficult. Staying in business, now that is really, really difficult. And across the world, we see lots of governments bringing in incentives like, I just walked through the exhibition and I saw 5 crowdfunding companies. Crowdfunding, do we know what that is? So it's like rather than getting 100 from one person, you get 1 from 100 people. It gets around the problem of getting funded, but it misses the whole point. And my personal opinion is that crowdfunding has no future. Crowdfunding has no future because it misses the vital ingredient, that it's not just about giving startups money. It's about giving mentoring. And 100 people who are putting 1 into each deal are not emotionally involved in the deal, they're not tied into the deal, they don't perhaps have the skills, they could well be retail investors who actually don't have the skills to move the company forward. And so for a nascent ecosystem like Thailand, often it is about the provision of capital, but it's not about getting the money, it's about staying in business. Call me old-fashioned. Our whole business model, we decide in which territories we move into, not because there's an excess of capital, but because there's an excess of capital and clever money and mentors. It is the clever money that you, the angels, bring, and it is about engendering a mentor environment into the ecosystem. Those are the signs of success. And then it's digital. It's either, what does success look like? Success looks like 100 companies that have been funded and 90 of them are still going in 3 years' time. Success is not, here's 100 companies that need funding, here's 100 companies that have got funding. Often governments miss that point. I mean, it seems really simple and it sounds like I'm mocking them, but I'm not. It's not about giving people money, especially stupid money. So sure you can tick the boxes and sure you can do whatever, but that really isn't what it's about. So, having put your money into a deal, one of the worst things that you can hear back from an entrepreneur is nothing. And 100% of the time, that's bad news. When they lose, and why? Not because they're hiding something, because they are hiding something. Not because they're embarrassed to tell you, because they are embarrassed to tell you. Not because they've lost face, because they have lost face. But because you, the business angel, you are complicit in this arrangement. If you have lost touch with them, it's a two-way thing. It's like my wife doesn't talk to me anymore. Well, do you talk to her? No. She's not talking to me. No. It's a two-way thing. If you cannot keep in touch with them, and it's more difficult for you to keep in touch with them than it is for them to keep in touch with you. But once communication starts to go down, the value that you can add to them, by definition, decreases. So it's a very, very, very bad call. And it's very simple to stay, hey, the chair's gone. Yay! Giant chair. Giant phantom chair. It's about, for me, it's about the deals that you will find this afternoon are the ones that you like most, the ones that you can form a relationship with, not the ones that promise you the most money. If you still want to make money, then I would very, very, carefully suggest that you get a lead investor who can at least do the mentoring, who can pass on his contacts, and who can give them the business experience. And then you follow on the back of those guys. But if the lead investor isn't getting communication and key, then the whole deal just probably isn't going to work, because most entrepreneurs do not know what it is they don't know. And that's the horrible thing about it. One of the big problems about doing due diligence that we rushed through in 22 minutes just before lunch is that it's all entrepreneurs are egotistical, narcissistic, and will push the really, really positive things about the company. No, I promise you, I don't know who's pitching in half an hour. We're all going to troop out and watch them. You guys can do what you want. I'm going to watch them. And then we're going to come back and we're going to compare notes. I think that's a valuable exercise. You guys tell me how you want to run it, but I think that would be quite good. Like, you go, I actually like that when I went to invest in that, and then we all laugh at you. No, that wouldn't be very Thai, would it? No, that would be really bad. No, we're not going to laugh. But you get my drift. I mean, it's just like there's going to be some good pitches, there's going to be some bad pitches. No company is going to go, oh, do you know what? This is really bad about my business. And when you've done due diligence for 3 months, and you're going to find this really bad thing, and this really, oh my God, I hope you don't find this. But when you do, you're not going to like this. No company does that. So the process of doing due diligence, what that leads to is disappointment. It very rarely do you go, oh my Lord, I've done 12 hours of due diligence and I found good things that I didn't know previously. With a nascent startup environment, as we find here in Thailand, one of the problems is, especially with women investors go, oh, I found nothing but bad things. But the process of due diligence encourages that. You get me? It's very rare you're going to find good things, things that the entrepreneur has forgotten to mention, sometimes. But then you kind of go, what? Really? You forgot to tell me that? So it's only going to be bad things. And then you almost, I want each one of you, I'm not going to go around the room, but it's about establishing what is it that when you hear them pitch today, you're going to be comfortable. What would your ideal business look like? It's very different from my ideal business, very different from your ideal business, but it's going to be where are my levels? Is it going to be revenue generating? Is it not? Is it going to have IP? Is it not? Am I going to invest in people I hate because it's got a really good business? Is it because it's going to make me 200 times money? Is it because it's in my region? Is it because blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is. But the whole process of due diligence does not encourage them. However, the amount of due diligence that you do has to be appropriate to the amount of money you're going to put in. Otherwise, you will kill the business. That's the whole point. And we do see, I mean, it's a very big factor in Europe where people are experienced at doing due diligence that they will kill the company. Kill the company by doing due diligence. The very act of observing a subatomic particle changes its very nature. The very act of overburdening any startup with due diligence and not stupid questions, sorry, that was rude. I know I'm rude, but even by Thai standards, that was really rude. You have to establish your own sense of what is appropriate. And if it's inappropriate for them, then you risk killing the company, which is a bad thing. Your experience is the only thing you're bringing to the table apart from your money. Your money can be replaced, but the company, if it's clever, will not accept your money at first go. It's going to go, dude, what I really need is alpha, beta, and gamma skills. Have you got, you go, oh, I don't even know what alpha is, but I've got 2 betas, and I haven't got any gammas, but I've got some deltas. You go, wow, that's really cool. And you, Mr. Investor, you're looking to invest? I've got an alpha and a gamma. And for them to then decide. But guess what? It's kind of like dating. There's someone out there for each one of us, even me. But it has to work on a relationship basis. The whole point of this is a relationship. If you don't have a relationship with them, if it's crowdfunding and you're just going, nah, I've invested in, I don't even remember how many, 30 odd businesses, and I put, 100 baht into each one of them, or a million baht, and I don't know, I can't even remember the name of them, then you're probably throwing your money away. And I think, does that make sense? Why you are? Because you're not delivering what the startups actually need. If you actually genuinely think that a 29-year-old with 7 months of trading and a limited amount of IP is going to make it good and is going to give you lots of money, I would leave this class now and go and invest in property. Property is going to give you a much, much better investment and is going to be much, much safer for the thing that you're actually looking for. It's not your business. You're not running the business. Otherwise, get your own startup. Let them run the business, but involve them in the decision making. Tell them. But you get the point. You get the point. You get the point. Thank you. Wow, cool. You guys are so professional, and I'm not. It makes a good combination. That's good. It's kind of like an obviousism, and you're going, yeah, that'll make sense. Why is he saying that? These are the top tips from top angels. These are, you're kind of going, yeah, I knew that, but very few people actually apply them. So many angels get in and get down and dirty with the startup. They get down and they go, oh, do you know, I can do that better. People from India can't stop themselves to generalize. They go, I can do that better. They probably can, but it's not the point. That isn't the point. You're not supposed to do it for them. You're supposed to mentor them. You're supposed to go, do you know what, if I was you, and I've been in the situation 27 times, I would do that and then turn left and wait for 5.5 months, and then we'll get Bank of Bangkok to do bang, bang, bang. And if they do it, that's cool. If they don't do it, that's cool. Because the whole essence of entrepreneurship is making their own decisions. With you, with your advice. I would suggest that you didn't throw all your money into one deal. I would suggest that you adopt a portfolio approach. Our average is 4.6 deals, let's call it 5 between friends. So they're investing in 5 deals. Some of them are going to work and some of them are not going to work. Human nature sort of dictates that you spend a lot of time on the ones that aren't working because you try and make them better. But sometimes it's better and good business practice to just kill them. Put them out of their misery, and guess what? You spend your time on the deals that are making you super profits. Controversial. And once again, I mean, you're going, yeah, I'd do that. But you wouldn't. You actually get tied into it. You get pulled into it. You go, oh, I'm really clever. I'm really clever, and I've got a lot of experience, and I can really help this. I'm going to prove myself here, especially men. And they get tied in, and they drag down, and guess what happens? The deals that were making super profits ain't making super profits anymore, and the ones that were sort of marginal, they might survive, they might not survive, but the returns they're going to make probably aren't going to be anywhere near the ones that were doing really, really well. Cash flow is king. You heard it here first. The major reason that each one of the businesses out there is not going to work is because of things they don't even know they don't even know. The second reason is cash flow, just cash flow. And then I take you back to the second point as well, that most companies, we see a lot of companies getting killed by the very process of due diligence. It just kills it. And entrepreneurs, do you know what? They all go, oh yeah, I knew cash flow's king, yeah, and you're all going, yeah, I knew that, I knew that. But some of our investors, they want one number. Bill, Lois, how many months can you survive with the cash you've got at the moment? Cool, thank you, goodbye. For them, that tells them everything. Other angels want to know the KPIs. How many new angels have you had this month? How many new registrations? How many new applications have you taken on? Where's the process breaking down? Is it breaking down the pitch stage? Is it breaking down the curation stage? Is it breaking down that you haven't got enough angels? For them, that is the information that is key to them running the business. They're process people that are not process people and used to be accountants or bankers. They just want to know cash. That's it. For them, that is absolutely, utterly vital. And then, for the fourth time today, let's go with your gut. When you're listening to the pitch, when you're reviewing the business plan, if something doesn't seem right, try and clarify it. If it still doesn't seem right, walk away. Walk away because you need to understand the business inside out. If you don't understand the business inside out, I mean, it's very difficult to listen to a 4-minute pitch or however many minutes it is. Anybody know what the format is? Yeah, whatever. It's like 5 minutes or whatever. Let's call it a 5-minute pitch. I mean, will you get to the essence of a company in 5 minutes? Probably not, but you know what? You'll cover a lot of ground. 5 minutes is a very long time to actually talk about the things they should be talking. Now, remember when we chatted about, much earlier, we talked about not doing a product pitch? I promise you that today we will see product pitches. People will make that schoolgirl error. They will pitch their product. I don't want to buy your product. Shh, stop talking to me about your product. Yeah, the product's great, yeah. Tell me about the business. Where are you going to make the money from? How are you going to make money? How are you going to make more money? How are you going to scale it? And people won't know the answers to that. But then going back to the due diligence, it's a two-way process. You'll ask them questions that they don't even know are questions. You'll ask them, hopefully, you will ask them questions that they don't even know are important. So everybody knows about cash flow. But entrepreneurs don't do anything about it. The vast majority of entrepreneurs come to us when they've run out of cash. Yeah, but I know cash flow. Oh, cash flow is king. Really? What, are you stupid then? Really, dude? Why have you... Oh, I'm too busy. I've been too busy running the business into the ground. It's cool. Not necessarily a bad thing for you. Because suddenly the value of your money really increases. I've got 10 million baht in my bank account. I've got nothing out of a bank account. Which one's more desperate? Which one's got the lower valuation? Because they've run the business into the ground, but also because the value of your money suddenly takes on a much greater significance. This is the last slide before I'm going to open the doors, and mysteriously you will walk much easier. In fact, if you look behind you, you will have each developed tiny little wings. Your burgeoning angel wings will carry you to the pitching, which is, do you know where it is? It's going to let you know where the main hall is. It's just in front of the main hall, all that sort of great stuff. It's called pitching area. This slide kind of upsets me because we've been going 10 years. And this is like a distillation of 10 years of what to look out for in pitches. Once again, for the fourth time on this day, the number one thing to look out for. Yeah. You know, I love, where's she going? The question about investing into a deal where you don't like the people. It's like it's cool. And Americans will do that. Some could say more commercial. I'm not sure about that. I think it all comes down to the people, and I think it all comes down to the people because it's all about the relationship. If you don't form that relationship and you don't like the people and you're not getting on with the people and you can't get across to the people and the people can't get across to you, whew, it's going to be very difficult for you to actually add the value and for them to drive the business forward. I think everybody in this room would like to see every deal out there that they've actually put some cash into it themselves. It says something about their own confidence in their own startup. You haven't invested any of your own money, and you're asking a complete stranger for money. Okay. No, doesn't go down that well. But guess what? I mean, you know, lots of people or students don't have much cash. They have got a crazy idea. Don't neg on them just because they haven't put their own money in. But it's and I go back to what I said as well about friends and family. If they can't convince their own friends and family to put money in, they're asking a complete stranger. Can you add value? If you cannot add value, then my recommendation is that you're not the lead investor, because they need value. They don't know that they need value, and in fact, they will tell you that they have everything in control. They will tell you that they can probably do it all themselves. Is there just one person in the team? There might be. In which case, what happens if he falls under a taxi as he leaves here? Oh, there goes your money. Has he not been able to convince shareholders, founders, other people to work alongside him? That tells you something. It's up to you to take away from that what you want. It's not a positive in my book. We're starting to get into sort of like value judgments. I mean, how innovative is it? Some of the stuff I see is incredibly innovative because I'm so old. And my daughters are going, oh, Dad, there's like 7 of those in the market. Like, everyone does that. I'm going, wow, that's so cool. But I think the one to take away from it is scalable. Just once again, is it scalable? Is there something out there that allows them? Is there something when you look into their eyes and they tell you that they want to scale? If they tell you they don't want to scale, then it's a lifestyle business. Now, running a lifestyle business is not a crime, but you'd probably be a bit stupid to invest into a lifestyle business because you're not going to be able to get your money back out. You might maybe get your money back out, but you're not going to get anything else. Yeah? Big difference. A big difference about a company that just wants to stay like that, which is cool, or a company that wants to go like that. If you want to go like that, tell me how you're going to do that. Tell me. Well, I don't know. Wait, that's not a bad answer. If you've got some ideas about how to actually help them, then I go back to, can you add value? Have you thought about going to Singapore, where you can actually just do exactly that here, and I've got some contacts there that could take you into the banks, the retail banks, and you could do it there? Wow, no, I hadn't thought of that. How big is the opportunity? They'll all tell you the opportunity is huge. They'll all tell you that if we only had 1% of the market, but it's their job to prove it. If they're not mentioning that, I would be suspicious that they don't know. This is a very American thing, so Americans love what's the pain in the marketplace that you're solving. It's a nice way of looking at it, but what is the pain? Does anybody actually need what it is that you've come up with? What I've done is I have discovered a way to grow baby giraffes in my bedroom. I've broken the giraffe genome code. That is so impressive, dude. That's great. Just one tiny question. Does anybody want giraffes in their bedroom? Oh, I don't know. They should do. Well, I don't think they're going to. But and often people go, wow, hey, look, Tang, he's broken the giraffe genome, and I can actually grow giraffes in his bedroom. And Tang, if he's sensible, goes, I'm going to punch you in the head. Stop talking about it, because no one wants to buy that thing. There is no pain about giraffes in bedroom. People don't want giraffes in their bedroom. Can they explain it to you? So the next one down is actually once again, it sounds like a throwaway line, but the biggest, each angel has their own credit committee, and that credit committee will be their husband or wife. The biggest danger when an angel meets an entrepreneur that he wants to invest into, that they go back home, they're full of giraffe genome excitement. They go, oh my God, I cannot wait to tell you. And it's like a stripy thing, and it's got bedrooms, and it does this. I don't really know, but it was so exciting. It's like so cool. And the husband and wife will go, seriously? Seriously? You're going, no, shh. Go downstairs, make dinner. Be quiet now. Stop talking to me. It's a stupid throwaway line. You're going, yeah, whatever. It is a huge problem. Can you explain it to your friends in your club what the hell it is that you have just invested into? If you can't, you're at fault and the entrepreneur's at fault. What competition is there out there? We've covered this as well. Everybody has competition in every market, even if the competition doesn't exist yet. If you're in a marketplace that doesn't have competition, whoa, what is it? Is it that I'm the only person in giraffe genomes? Yeah, I'm number one. Look at me in Google. Yep, number one. I'm number one. Yeah, dude, like, you know, there's a reason for that. Can you guess what the reason is? One of the reasons that companies don't do well after investment is because of competitive action. So if a company then goes and raises money, the company will have looked at it as so I'm going to rise above the competition because I've now got the funding on board. Guess what the competitors are going to do? They're going to go and raise capital. So everyone is then at the same race to nowhere. They're all raising money. They're all chasing the same marketing budget. Your Google AdWords budget increases commensurately. It makes it much more difficult out there. One of the things that clever entrepreneurs look at is not to assume that the competition is going to stay static or the competition is going to carry on the way it previously has, because they don't. And competition and human behavior is erratic. And you need to ask erratic questions to actually feel comfortable with this decision. Do you understand the revenue model? Which one of the three products is giving me the best bottom line profit? Why are you not concentrating on that one that is making 3 times the return? Why are you still doing these other ones? What's the strategic reason that you are continuing in that marketplace? Is there one? No. Just like it. Okay, that's cool. Let's kill it. But I want you to tell me what they are. What's the cost of goods of each one of the 3 lines that you're doing? How much is the cost of marketing? Tell me. Now, you know, don't expect an entrepreneur to understand the numbers. They should understand the numbers, but they won't be able to tell you. They'll be able to refer to them. That's cool. That's good enough. It's not like one of these dreadful Shark Tank things where you have to remember everything. I think that's kind of false. That then encourages people who are awesome at pitching to take your money. Often the ones that are awesome at pitching are some of the worst investments. I judged MIT's business plan competition last year, and each one of the pitches was, oh my God, amazing, so American, and the slides were changing at 3.7 seconds. They didn't even need to refer to them. They're just going click, 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 click. The things were going up and down. It was like great. The academic rigor that went into each one of them was, oh, wow, that's incredible. Were any of them commercial? Oh, no. Nope. Not one. Not one. MIT. Not one. No. So it was like, does anybody want to buy this? It's like, wow, yeah, I can see your giraffe genome. That's cool, dude. Have you done any market research? Yes, I have. That was a really biased survey that you did it against. Like, say, you asked all your friends whether they'd buy your product that you know they've spent 3 years and $180,000 putting you through college to actually get to, and they all said they would do it. Okay. You asked your mum, and she said it was a really good idea. It's very lovely, and patted me on the head. Have you actually gone and asked other people? Very, very few of them had, and very few of them actually had revenue. Do they have branding? Do they have any assets? Anything that is tangible? What is the IP? Once again, we'll cover IP because it's really important, especially if you're doing software. There is no IP. There is no protection. Even if they do have IP, do they have a trademark, a patent, a copyright, something that is protectable? I'll say it again. In my humble opinion, if they don't have something that they can protect, they don't have a business. And I would be very reticent to invest because our friend is saying that he's talked to technology companies who don't want to disclose to the outside world what they're doing, so they don't want to go for a patent. So then how do you get around that? And I think it's really difficult. Because then when they go to market, guess what? Baiju is just going to be all over it and dissecting every line of code that is on there and is going to be kicking their ass. It's a really difficult one. I mean, and famously, you know, I know there's 3 IP lawyers in the room. Yeah, it's very difficult. But I mean, you have to take your best feeling on whether or not you think that somebody could come into the marketplace and take it over. So it's like, do you guys use Skyscanner? Have you heard of Skyscanner here? So Skyscanner is you put in your flights, you put in BKK to LHR, and it comes back. You have to open the app, and then you put these things in, and it gives you a whole bunch of flights, which are really, really good. And I was always going, where's the patent? Where's the copyright? Where's the advantage, the barrier to entry that stops somebody coming in? So I wrote articles about it in newspapers, like slagging them off. Then they raised 600 million from a Chinese company. And the newspapers are all going, you know nothing, you're stupid. I'm going, what was that about? Until it was somebody on the Financial Times told me, well, actually, the reason that they raised 600 million from a Chinese company was that the vast 99% of people look at Skyscanner on Google in China. There's no Google. No Google. And what they'd done was like launch into the marketplace. So in a sense I was right, in a sense I was wrong. The company still existed, but there was nothing to actually protect them. And especially as Google, now they put in 3 lines of code, and now you put BKK to LHR just into your search box, bang, there comes the flights. You don't have to open up any app. You don't have to do anything. They were dead in the water. They were dead in the water, but the Chinese came in because it was actually quite a good product. So it's a difficult one. There's always going to be circumstances. I was wrong, but I wasn't too wrong. Do they have a brand? I think that's kind of important. A brand is actually something that has value. It is the thing that distinguishes them from their competition. It could itself be a protectable asset. Am I going on too much about this? Is this boring, or is this good? Yeah, cool. Does it have an exit strategy? If it doesn't have an exit strategy and they can't convince you it's got an exit strategy, if it doesn't look like the business is going to be exited, then you have to wonder how you're going to get your money back out again. So it might be a really good business that you'll never be able to exit. Does it balance your portfolio? What does that mean? Who else is investing? That's kind of important. Has anybody ever seen Shark Tank? Yeah, I've never actually watched it, but I believe that when one of them goes in, they all go in. So it's kind of that sheepish thing, human nature. God, if he's going in, well, I'm going in as well. Well, that is really cool, because I love the questions that he asked earlier in the room. Or, that guy's going in? Okay, the last deal I'm going to invest in is any deal that this guy's invested in, because the guy's an idiot. I just didn't like him. Who else is investing? Is the guy wise? Is he a VC? Does he have a good background? Does he understand that particular sector? Can he add value, and you add value to the business and make an absolutely spangling stellar team? That would be incredible. So it's important. And especially as I'm trying to throw Thailand down a club perspective, a syndicate, rather than going in as lone wolves. Do they have enough money? Once again, this is like it's like one of these, like he's going, well, why on earth would he ask that question? But each one of the companies out there, they're guessing how much money they need. They have no idea. They've never done it before. So the big value that you can add is you can go, dude, that's like ridiculous. It's not going to cost you $100,000 to build a website. In fact, some of my friends can do it for $8,000, and I can save you $92,000. Or, you've absolutely underestimated the cost of going to market, or your marketing cost is ridiculous. That's just never ever going to work either. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is. Do they have enough money? They don't know how much they need. You, hopefully, or at your club or your syndicate or some of your friends or the research that you do will be able to indicate in a much better way how much money they need to actually achieve the aims that they have asked for and also the aims that they have sold you guys on. Are they reasonable in their pay? I think this is a European thing. I think Thai people are actually quite conservative in terms of how much they pay themselves. But, I before I came away, I saw people paying themselves, like startups paying themselves £150,000 each. It's like, really? And once again, it just doesn't make sense to me to take money from your back pocket and put it into their back pocket. You've got to take your money and put it into their business. And they should apply that money, not pay themselves. Sure, they have to pay themselves. Sure, they have to pay themselves a little bit of luxury, not much. Are there any questions before you go and spend all your money?
Yeah, two points I just want to make. Do you know, well, it's a bit of a two-tier question. You were talking about due diligence, and I mean, I work with auditors and accountants.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, exactly. So my ideas are dead before I even do anything. So, but the thing is, the thing was, I've counted that because I've created myself from, I'm a startup before the .com era. I started up with $5 and I turned over about $2 million the first year. But it was not internet based. It was a business that was a normal old business. Yeah, a real business. Yeah, and I went on to turn over to 2,000 million baht in overall sales. But if I had asked an accountant or asked somebody about it, they would have thought, I'm mad. I'm going into an industry with thousands of competitors. But I came out 20 years later, and I'm still here. That's a big thing. And the second part to the question.
What was the question?
Well, I mean, you were saying about due diligence. It kills itself before. It's a statement rather than a question. I think it kills the business before it gets going because there are certain entrepreneurs that have a knack to being resourceful and finding a way to survive in a Shark Tank. You know what I mean? So. It's more of a statement, really.
Yeah, okay. No, I love the statement, and I think it's a validation that no matter how much due diligence you do, you'll never get to the bottom of a company. You spend 7 years, but hopefully the company's moving. It's a dynamic thing that you're actually looking at. You're never going to understand it fully inside out. You have to accept, even you women, that you will never fully understand all of that business, and then you have to feel comfortable with it yourself. So women do adopt, and are much more successful investors, they adopt what I like to call an airline pilot checklist, where they come in with a big list of questions and they don't leave until they've had all those questions done. It's cool. It's like the way to do it. But would your business have passed muster if one of these angels had come in?
No,
it wouldn't.
No.
And that's cool. Would Facebook have passed muster? Would Uber pass muster today? Now we all know. Would it raise the money that it has raised today, seeing the failure that's coming out of it now? No, because it changes.
And the second part is, now you've got companies like Rocket who fund startups with so much money, venture capitalists like companies probably like yourself, how much money do you need? You ask the question, how much money do you need? But the question is, when you've got players on the market who've got unlimited funds, it's a big question. How much money do you need? That's a big worrying case because they're ready to lose thousands of millions of baht before they make any. So,
yeah, no, totally. And the question to ask of, so there's two successes. I bet you that every one of the companies that we're going to hear pitching today will think it's success should they raise capital. Raise capital. Success is not raising capital. Success is running a business that is still going in a few years' time. Ask Rocket how many of its companies have been successful. Ask 500 startups how many exits they've had. 500. Guess how many? That's right, none. So, on the one hand, there's a lot of people, would you like to invest in my fund? I'm looking to invest in startups. You go, oh, do you know what? Bill's really put me off talking to people. I can't be bothered doing the due diligence. I didn't understand the legals thing, and the valuation thing was just, what was he talking about? Didn't get that, so I'm just going to invest in a fund. Raising a fund, relatively straightforward. The difficult bit is where to apply the fund. I mean, totally. So we advise governments across the world on how to curate their deals. We curate government deals for governments because governments are famously really bad at curating deals that are entrepreneurial. I mean, they just are. I mean, universally, every country, not one. They're very good at government. They're really good at bureaucracy. But oh my God, I mean, how to differentiate? Here's 5 businesses. Which one's the best one? I don't know. And neither should they. But the whole point is, so it's not about just raising the money. It's not about Rocket giving you tons and tons of money. And Rocket also famously don't come up with any innovation whatsoever. 100% of their startups are copies. Not necessarily a bad thing. But I could also give you 5,000 words why it's a really bad thing. First mover advantage, we talked about that this morning. I don't think it exists. It doesn't exist. Although it could be one of the... It could be one of the USPs. Oh, where are they? Who cares? Oh, anyway. I'm talking about copyright, trademarks, patents, whatever. But an advantage could be, I've got some intellectual advantage. I've got people on board that have done it. I've got geographical knowledge. I've got the marketplace sewn down. I've got the contracts sewn up. I've just had 3 people pitch me over lunch. the mild curry? What's wrong with you people? How can you even eat that stuff? I can barely talk and walk. Anyway, sorry. Pitching me, and each one of them had their marketplace sewn up. That was their USP. Any copyright? No. Any trademark? No. Any license? No. But they've got people that want to buy their product, and they've tied them down to an agreement because each one of the businesses was really awesome. 3 in a row. So, it's that sort of thing. There's what to look out in pitches. This is the distillation of 10 years of experience in 10 countries, 200,000 business plans that we've reviewed. These are unbelievably the things that come up most often. Are there going to be other things that you think are appropriate? Yeah, hope so. I hope you can come up with something that isn't, there, that is important to you. And I think, the essence of what we were saying about entrepreneurship, the number one thing that people are looking at when they're doing due diligence and whatever, the number 2 thing is really, really where I'm coming from. The one thing that you cannot replicate is passion. Passion. You cannot find another entrepreneur that is truly, truly, truly passionate about what they do. You can find somebody that might have a USP. You can find somebody who's got a very similar model, who's got similar coding. But the biggest differentiator in any marketplace, and thus the number one thing that I'm looking at, is I want to see You know, I don't want to say, oh, I've got this product and it's really good and I'm actually going to bewilder you with PowerPoint slides and it's great. It's really good. Even if that makes me 200 times money. Remember that we looked at the motivation of angel investors across the world, and it's not to make money. If it is to make money, then they're stupid. There are much, much better ways to make money than angel investment. If you're just here to make money, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Similarly, the number one thing then that is attractive to the vast majority of angels, we're not American, is passion. It is passion. It just has to be passion. It's possibly the resource which is in scarcest demand availability on the planet about that one particular thing. You just can't get around that. So I want somebody that's got a pretty crap product. Is a bit, you know, I mean, for me, this is me. I want somebody that's a bit flaky on their numbers, is, you know, sort of flighty and loses the point and runs over on time, forgets about the PowerPoint, trips over, but oh my God, they're passionate. They're absolutely on it. And how do I know? Because I have met so many entrepreneurs. How do I know that those 3 guys I met today are going to make it? Because in 5 seconds I can tell. And all I do is I look them in the eye. That's it. That's it. Now, I've reviewed more business plans than I wanted to. I could have been successful. I could have made something of my life. Anyway, but it's just about looking them in the eye. It's about making sure that you understand that they understand. It's about understanding your own confidences. Hey, who wants to go and listen to some pitches? Okay, hug the person next to you. Said nobody in Thailand ever. You guys, what time is it? Anybody got time? 3 minutes to 3. God, we're on time. I apologize. This is never going to happen again. How long do you want to listen to pitches for? I mean, like, if you're not enjoying this and you're not getting much out of it, then I truly understand. But similarly, I think you're going to get a bit bored listening to 30 pitches. Do you know how long the pitches are? 5 minutes each? 30 minutes each? Okay. So I'm at this 4. 1 hour. Yeah. I'm a disruptive entrepreneur, and I want to drive quality to you guys. What do you want? Do you want half an hour or an hour to listen to pitches? No, the whole point of the day. I think an hour. Like, you can get a coffee, go and get some sun, have a cigarette, talk and take notes. Half an hour? An hour? Half an hour? Half an hour? Cool, cool. You guys are diligent students. That's cool. Okay. So back here at 3:30. In time-honored tradition, I will start at 3:30. I will not reward the latecomers. If you don't come, you'll have to do penalties, push-ups.